All right. So here are the top 5 things that you want to do when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant. This is number one. First thing. Number one is, and write this down, clarify their position and responsibilities. One of the things that one of the things that um, I love about bringing on an assistant is that bringing on somebody who's going to help you be able to focus more on the money making activities, focus more on the activities that's going to allow you to operate in your gift, right? Because ultimately, this is really what you want to do when you and we talked about this on the previous session called building a dream team, right? You want to build the dream team around you, right? And with that, you want to bring on an assistant that's gonna take some of the administrative tasks off you, so you can focus on you in your gift, focus on delivering the coaching, focus on making the phone calls, focus on doing the webinars or the live trainings, focus on putting yourself in what we call miracle territory. Miracle territory is there's an opportunity, there's a magic moment every day, and a magic opportunity to where you're a potential client or prospect or your audience is introduced into your offer, right? And if they're not introduced into that offer that day, you don't make any money that day, right? Especially if you don't have any clients. So, but if you we talking about getting new clients, if they don't see your offer that day, you don't make any money that day. Meaning, if you're not on the phone, you presenting, you don't make any money that day. If you're not doing a live training and you present or a webinar, and at the end you presenting your program, you don't make money that day, right? If you're not running ads to a page to where somebody can read about the book, read about the program, read about the masterclass, read about whatever, you don't make money that day. If somebody doesn't see, if you're doing a live event and somebody doesn't go to the registration page and pay, or at least see it, you're not putting yourself in miracle territory, right? So why is that important? That's important because when you bring on an assistant, that allows you to put yourself in miracle territory more. Because if you have a certain amount of hours every day that you're able to allocate towards your business, because maybe you have a 9 to 5 job, maybe you have kids, maybe you have other responsibilities, maybe you're taking care of somebody, right? Maybe you're doing other things and you only have a certain amount of hours to put towards your business each day. In the ideal scenario, your goal is to want to spend more time introducing people into the opportunity. We got person A and you got person B. Person A and B, both of them have 4 hours a day to put towards their business. 2 hours before they go to work and 2 hours when they get home, right? And so let's say that's 20 hours a week. Let's just say they take weekends off. 20 hours a week. If person A is spending 15 of those hours doing administrative tasks, moving things around or not putting people in miracle territory, right? It's okay to put out content on social media. It's okay to organize your different learning lessons and things of that nature. What you want to look at, what you want to look, download podcasts, doing those kind of things. It's okay to you can work on the cover of your book, or you basically just kind of shuffling things around, right? But if person A spends 15 hours a week doing non-miracle territory activities and 5 of miracle territory activities where people are literally being introduced into the opportunity to buy, and person B, it has it flipped to where they're only spending 5 hours a week on administrative tasks and 15 hours a week putting people in and putting potential clients in miracle territory. Who do you think made more money that week? Person A or person B? Your goal when you bring on an assistant is to have them do things that is going to take up less of your time, that's more administrative. So what are some of those responsibilities? So you want to put your business in a position that's going to allow you to do as much be in a miracle territory as much as possible. That's going to be the goal, and that's why it's important to bring on an assistant. Make sense? All right, because we don't have unlimited time. All right, so here are the top 5 things that you want to do when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant. This is number one. First thing. Number one is, and write this down, clarify their position and responsibilities. Clarify their position and responsibilities. So what are you having them do? Right? Like what is important that they need to do for you? And it's important that you understand what that is, because and realize that, is it miracle territory or is it not? Right? Like what does that really look like? Like following up on people who are past due, that could be miracle territory because you have clients and they pay, that's what it is. Right? But let me give you some of the things that are on my list. Feel free to take them if you feel like it's necessary or not. But I know people like to ask, what do I have my assistant doing for me? So I felt like this would be helpful, just letting you know some of the things she does. So I already gave you some of the things, right? So she follows up on invoices. Sometimes I do that too, but she does that. She follows up with she does appointment reminders for my for upcoming calls, right? So for people who are looking to get an appointment with me, she books those calls with me. She follows up with them, right? You send a reminder, hey, you got a call with Coach T tomorrow, or hey, Coach T is getting ready to call you in an hour. Like she does those kind of things, right? Because that's important. Any kind of frequently asked questions for customer service, she does. So any kind of questions you have, password resets, I need help with this, I can't access that, she does that. Anytime there's a new, she basically handles the onboarding process from a technical perspective, right? When you come in, one of the things that all of us did, I don't know if you remember, but we had an onboarding call when you first came on, right? And I basically walked you through the content, but the technical side of it, or the access side of it, she did. So she got you access into the program, and now I'm gonna put you on mute because I think you got some feedback coming. So she got you access into the into the program, or if you're in a master class, she got you access into that. She added you as part of the text message campaigns. When you first came through, you was getting text messages, right? Hey, this is the app that we have. Hey, this is the Facebook group link. Hey, this is that, right? So she did that. Let's see what else. She is everything from a Facebook perspective. I'm having her do more Facebook things now, right? So you're gonna start seeing her. Her name is Chanel. So you're gonna start seeing her more in the Facebook group, but creating the rules and guidelines for the group, simple stuff like that, simple administrative stuff for the group, accessing the group. She's been focused on. She is one of the things that she's doing is she's initiating the reminders every week. So the reminders that we send out, I oversee it and I add my touch to it. So like the reminders for these calls, like she'll oversee, she'll do it, but I'll oversee it and I'll add my touch to it. Right. So that's basically, it's kind of like templated that's sent out, but each and every week I'll tweak it. She'll do it. She'll set it up, schedule it, and I'll go in and I'll tweak it. So she does that to make it easier. What else? If there's anything that happens with my schedule, or people need to be changed or moved in a date, or if I say, hey, I can't do this because this happens, she'll reach out to them and say, hey, you know what, coach can't do this appointment today. Is there hey, I'm gonna send you a link, would you mind grabbing another day? So she does that interaction. She does the some of my content posting, right? So on YouTube, and we stopped for a while, but we're picking it back up. On YouTube, she does like the descriptions. So she'll post the video. So basically what I have is I post all my videos to a cloud. I have a video editor. She goes in, she takes the videos and she edits it. And she puts it back in my cloud account. We have OneNote. Well, we have, what is it? We have like the Microsoft Cloud, OneDrive. right? And then what she does is she goes to OneDrive in my video folder. She downloads the video. She already has a template of what my YouTube videos are. So literally, she uploads the video, puts all the tags to the video, and then she adds a description in there. Now, look, she does a lot of things. You could literally, some of the things I mentioned, you can actually have different positions for. But when we first started and we hired our first person, she could, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much could do almost everything. Right. But these are, you feel what I'm saying? You see how like these little tasks, these are all things that we want to do. If we post in, we got to do the descriptions, we got to post it, we got to do the hashtags, we got to do the, you know, we got to do the tags on it, we got to put the correct links in, we got to do the reminders. Like, so it's a bunch of things that you could be doing, and that could take up 15 hours of your 20-hour week. You feel what I'm saying? But when you bring on somebody that you pay $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $25 an hour, right? Your time, a lot of it, minimum, if you part of this program, minimum, your goal should be 6 figures in your business. Minimum. I'm not accepting nothing else. 6 figures. All of us, right? So with that being said, you can invest $20 an hour to get an assistant, because the work that they're doing is not 6 figures an hour. I think 6 figures I think is probably, I want to say maybe like $45 an hour or something like that. It's like $40 or $45 an hour. You know what I mean? So with that, anything below that, you should be willing to invest to get somebody to do, right? Sending out reminders. You don't, that doesn't take, you don't need to pay somebody a 6-figure salary to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you do activity that's 6-figure, and you do 6-figure activities. That's what you do. That's what's important about bringing on an assistant. All right, so those are just some of the things that she does for me, right? And once you know that, number 2 is clarify your KPIs. Clarify your KPIs. Your KPIs are, anybody know what that is? Anybody? Big mistake that I made for a very long time. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. I made that mistake up until this year. Literally, I made that mistake up until this year. Meaning, I knew the responsibilities that I wanted my team members to have, but especially my assistant, but I didn't have anything to measure them by. You feel what I'm saying? So it's different to have somebody helping you out, and it's a whole nother thing to say, hey, based on the position that you have and how you're helping out the team, these are the goals that we want to accomplish. So key performance indicators are the things that they're helping you out with. You should have something measurable to know whether they accomplished that thing effectively or not. Number 3 is clarify. This is a good one. Oh, I love this one. Clarify your core values. Clarify your core values. It's one thing for you to hire a virtual assistant to come help you because they got the skills to do the job. It's a whole nother thing for them to have the type of values that fits with your culture, or the culture that you're trying to create in your team and in your business, right? So character matters. You have to look at their character, and you have to look at their core values. But how are you going to know what their values are if you don't even know what the values are? And the easiest way to figure that out is figure out what are the things that you value. So you're gonna have to take some time out to kind of think about, like, what's important to me, and think about, maybe, like, to make it easy, what are your top 5 values? Think about that. Yo, what is it? Right? Like, what are some of the things that you take seriously? So I'll mention some of mine. So some of mine is being intentional, right? Being intentional about things you do. In order for you to be intentional, you gotta be serious about preparation. So I'm big on making sure you prepared for things and not just showing up. Because the more you prepare, the better outcome you're gonna get. One of my values. Another one is productivity, as you know, right? Being efficient, being effective in what you do, being productive, working towards an output and a result that we're working in the best manner, right? Making progress, right? You always hear progress over perfection. Sometimes I'm not always going to be there. Sometimes you're not always going to be able to ask me every answer. I'm not going to be immediately available, right? So I want you to be able to at least make some kind of progress on the situation and don't get stuck standing still saying you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? 4 is, oh, this is a good one too. Interview for skill demonstration and character scenarios. I'm gonna break it down because there's a lot going on right there. Interview for skill demonstration and character scenarios. What are you talking about, coach? So when you're so now we're at the interview part, right? So you know what you want. You know, you went to, and let me kind of just give you some of my favorite places. I basically use Upwork and Fiverr. There's other places you can go, but I go to upwork.com or fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Right? Somebody could type that in the chat. Upwork.com and fiverr.com. Right? So that's where I go. Right? If it's a one-time thing or if it's a few-time thing, I might go to Fiverr. If I'm trying to hire a virtual assistant on an ongoing basis, not full-time, just basically on an hourly basis, I go to Upwork, right? And that's where I hired Chanel at, through Upwork. And that's where I'm paying her through, because they manage all the money, they do all of that, right? So you don't have to worry about the management, the oversight. Literally, literally what they do is they take a, based on what they worked. So there's two ways you can pay. You can do an hourly, or you could do like a stipend. So if you say, well, I got $500 a month, if they want, they can do it based on a stipend to where it's okay. They'll take the $500 out of your account and then they'll hold on to it for a month and they'll do as much work, as much work as they, as they can or they want to do. That's not tracked hours. That's just basically they doing work for a stipend, right? So you can do it that way. But the way that I do it is you just do this is how much we negotiate per hour. Now it's and it's not really even a negotiation, because when you go on Upwork, they already have how much they want per hour already. So literally all you got to do is invite them. You can send them a message first. You can have a conversation with them first. But ultimately, if you want them, all you got to do is click the hire button. Simple as that. Search your keyword, put up your, people apply for it. Boom. You hire them. That's if you want to hire them. Now, when you go through the interview process, right, before you hire them, you might have a list of candidates. This is how I want you to do the interview. I want you to explain what the tasks are, and I want you to listen to their language. Explain what the tasks are and listen to the language, meaning whatever you want them to do, you'll say, hey, all right, look, this is what I do, da 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 da. This is what I'm looking for in an assistant, right? Could you explain could you explain your your experience in this, or have you used this platform before? Have you used Kajabi before? Have you done these reminders before, right? Or whatever you want them to do for you, but have them explain it. And when I say listen to language, listening to language means you can tell how knowledgeable somebody is in a certain subject based on the language that they're using, right? Every industry has insider language, right? So like in our industry, what is some insight? I could tell somebody knows about our industry if I'm having a conversation with them. Do you know what an opt-in page is? Do you know what a funnel is? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain, do you know what a sales page is? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm hiring an assistant to do opt-in pages or sales funnels or send out emails and they've never heard of none of that before, right? They don't know what email marketing is. They don't know, they have no idea about certain things in this world. Then I'm listening to that language and saying, oh, okay, it sounds good it look good on paper, but I'm having a conversation right now. They don't really understand what this is or what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Listen to language. They're going to use insider language for whatever you want them to do.